Hello guys and welcome back. In today's video, does being a baby daddy lower your value? Women are advised don't date a serial baby daddy. You'll find that a lot of women and a lot of young women or even older women dating a man with kids, dating a man who has already divorced his wife, a divorcee, but now he still wants to marry another wife or another woman. Before you enter into that relationship, before you enter into that union, ask yourself several questions here. Why did this man divorce his wife in the first place? Why is he a serial baby daddy? He's got several baby mamas outside there, but now you are still going to that man. Which number are you going to be? Maybe number 7 as a baby mama. But these ladies are still going to get married to this serial baby daddy. So let's go straight into this video.
Does being a baby daddy lower your value?
Yes, it does lower a man's value if he has multiple baby mamas. Now, if he's divorced and he only has one baby mama, I'll give him the exception. If he turns around and learns from the experience and he does right by the next woman, he's exempt from this. But most men, whether they have money or not, and they have multiple baby mamas, are low fucking value. I will never deal with a man with multiple baby mamas ever again. No. It says to me that he lacks leadership skills, he lacks morals, he lacks impulse control, and he lacks discipline. He can't keep his you-know-what in his fucking pants. You will never be a priority to a man that has multiple baby mamas. They will constantly be calling for money and his attention. And if them bitches are just as toxic as he is, they're gonna fuck him. I don't care if their children are grown, they're still gonna fuck. And God forbid if you're more prettier, more successful than she is, and she's a bitter lowlife, she's gonna fuck y'all shit up and he's gonna allow it.
Exactly, ladies. A lot of ladies prefer, it's advisable. If this guy has got maybe one baby mama, it's advisable you can move in with him. But if you hear a guy has got several baby mamas, that is a danger zone. That is a red flag. Because at the end of the day, this guy is not going to consider you. He's not even he won't love you at all. He's not loving you at all. Because these baby mamas, at the end of the day, maybe he's got 5 baby mamas or even 6 baby mamas, they'll still be coming back to him. For example, for financial support because of the kids. If that baby daddy has got several baby mamas and each baby mama has got a kid or kids with that man, these women will come back to this man demanding for financial support because of their kids. So this kind of man is going to he's not actually going to value or even treasure you. That is one of the red flags when dating a multiple baby daddy. A baby daddy with a multiple baby mamas, sorry.
And some of y'all may not like to hear this, but I'm going to tell you this anyway. And ignore my grandbaby back there. I'm babysitting. But if you are a woman in your early 20s, late 20s, early 30s, mid 30s, hell, in your 40s, and you are childless, don't you date no man with no motherfucking kids. You hear me? I tell this to my best friend all the time. Let me tell you something. A woman without kids is a flex. You are the prime cut of steak. Okay? You are the center cut steak, the juiciest, most tender part. Don't you settle for a man with no motherfucking kids. You hear what I'm telling you? And I get it. The pickings are slim. They're slim. They are. But if you do settle, and I'm going to always say settle, for a man with kids, and you don't have kids, you better make sure that nigga treats you right and understands the value of what he holds in his hand. And as soon as that nigga show his ass, you better book it. You hear me? Okay. Another thing. If he does happen to have a child, because even I say, and I have one child, I have a daughter, I ain't dating no man with more than one kid, and I ain't dating no man with no kid that's under the age of 5, because why aren't you and the mama together? And what was I gonna say? Oh, make sure he treating you right. Okay? And make sure he ensures that you are comfortable with the dynamic between he and the mother of his kids. If ever that man try to hide side and get his shine on and tell you we're having family day, girl, take your suitcase, open it up, pack your shit up, and get the fuck out. Because what that nigga's trying to do, you know what he's trying to do, okay? There is a respect factor that needs to be understood and established. That man is to make you feel comfortable. It is not your responsibility to raise those children. You are an addition. You are a bonus parent. And I wouldn't even say parent, but you are a bonus, an additive to that child's life. Okay? That is not your responsibility. But that is if you so choose to settle for a man with kids. Okay? I'm going to let you make it.
If you have a man, your man has kids, and you don't have kids, and you're young, turning high.
I don't recommend any woman dating a single father at all. So that I would not forget, I had to write this in my notes app, but this is why I do not recommend dating a single father, especially if you are a single woman in your 20s with no children of your own. So women in their 20s and you don't have children, you should not be dating men with children. The majority of men that consider themselves to be traditional are typically misogynistic men. They believe child rearing is women's work. And these types of men are usually just scouting a replacement mother during their parenting time. And which is bringing me to number 3, women are typically seen as the default parent. And you may be tempted to go from helping him during his parenting time to just taking over his parenting time completely. Therefore, he can wipe his hands and be done. Now, he also may use his job as a way to get you to take over his parenting time, or all of a sudden all these other things are going to come up and now his parenting time is now your parenting time. And I also don't recommend men with young children who need a lot of assistance. Those kids are needy for a reason. They're kids. I have a 4-year-old, very, very needy, and that's what she's supposed to be at that age. Also, if you're not in your 20s and you don't have kids, or you do have kids, his kids need to be older and less reliant. And I can't really see what my number 8 is. I think it's saying, there's a lot of discourse around single married mothers, and a lot of them are divorcing for various reasons, but the divorce for them sometimes allows them to finally get a break and kind of force the father into actually taking care of his kids on his own post-divorce. Now, these are the type of men that are going to be in your dating pool now, divorced, and they're going to be looking for you to fill in the gaps. And also, watch a lot of single married mother content. Those women are on the verge of divorce, or they're heading to divorce. Those are the men that are going to be in the dating pool, and they're going to be looking for you to fill in the gap and to be the stepmom. So I know that there are going to be a lot of men and even some women come into my comment section and say, oh, well, then just don't date single mothers. I am still nailing this down, but it is not the same whatsoever. Like I said in one of my points, the woman is always looked at as the default parent, even in a marriage setting, to the child's biological parent. So what do you think this is going to mean for you as the stepmom? If the majority of men carry this mindset that child rearing is women's work, what do you think that it's going to mean for you as a stepmom? So if you have ever been a stepmom, or you're considering being a stepmom, or the guy that you're talking to right now has kids, please get in the comments and let me know that you think. I would like for us to have some civil, respectable conversation around this, but I'm still standing firmly that a woman in her 20s, that is not your time to be dating a single father. You need to be building your own life, taking care of yourself. And in your 20s, you can still very much find a man that does not have children, and y'all built that life together. Hell, in your 30s, you can find that. But I will still stand by the fact that if you're going to do this, you need to truly assess the situation. Like I always say, I will never deter you from wanting to get married. I will never deter you from having children. But I will ask you to critically think about your situation. I could sit here and give you, my personal experience or my advice, but you have to personally assess your situation. If you're in a situation that would be beneficial for you to be a stepmom, by all means, go for it. But the majority of the situations, I'm going to guess, they are not beneficial, and you are literally throwing yourself into the same type of situation that his ex-wife or child's mother got herself out of, and she is thankful that it is now your turn. So get in the comments, tell me what you think.
Another thing I learned from rich, successful, smart people, especially women, about dating is this: stay away from single dads. Just listen. Think about it. Before you freak out, think about it. They already have responsibility. They have kids, maybe multiple children. If they're younger, it's even worse. They have an ex-wife, baby mama, who knows? They have financial responsibility. They have financial responsibility for those children, that child, for 18 years, and honestly, probably longer than that. Do you think they are really looking for something serious unless they're looking for someone to mother these children and help take care of these children? They are dating selfishly because they are either looking for a maid, cook, nanny, and someone to have sex with, or they're not looking for something serious. They're just looking to. I'm just giving you advice from experience because I've been there. I stay away from these guys. I have guys that are friends that have children that are separated, divorced, whatever. And I ask them and they tell me the truth. They're like, they really don't even want to get married anymore. And they're not looking for a relationship. They're not looking for a girlfriend. And these are the honest guys. These are the guys that are actually good guys because they're saying, listen, straight up, they're saying, this is all I'm looking for. I'm not looking for something serious. So if you're interested, great. If not, great. But most guys are not like that. So just be aware.
You shouldn't date men that have children. Here's why. Hello, my name is Carla, and restoring healthy mindsets is my thing. This advice is specifically for women that also don't have children. When both partners come into a relationship having children, that's valid. Obviously, there's an exception to every rule, so don't take this literally. Here's the thing you guys need to understand. When you are in a marriage, a woman needs to feel like the queen bee. And if this man does not have established boundaries with his baby mama, he's going to put you and your relationship at risk. It is not your job to fight for a man's attention, love, and time. It is also not your responsibility to play the mother role if you yourself don't have children. Again, this is specifically when the man does not have set boundaries with his baby mama, which happens more often than not, or else I wouldn't be saying this. Another thing you need to think about is that you probably won't be this man's priority. And if you're looking for marriage, it's best to save the headache. Now, it's a different story when the children are above 18 years old because the responsibility and the dynamic changes completely. I'm talking about men that have children under the age of 18, basically that are not adults and can be self-sufficient. If you decide to date a man and marry a man that already has children, there is a possibility for you guys to succeed. Like I said, there's an exception to every rule. But if you're a woman that has no children, I recommend for you to find someone that also has no children.
So my last video got a lot of you men pennies in a bunch. Y'all want to try to come for me? I'm trying to help you. But ladies, like we know, men do not listen to women. They don't listen to us. Their ego and pride, they can't even put their pride to the side because they know in their heart of hearts we right, but the pride and the ego is not going to allow them to listen to us. I'm telling you to just try to be with one woman. Some man on Facebook gonna write in the comment section. So a man just supposed to just be quiet, just shut up and not say nothing and come home and be with one woman and work and just take care of this and take care of that. In the long run, it will help you. In the long run, when you do what is right by your woman, it will help you. But no, y'all don't want to do right. Y'all want to go around here philandering with all these different women. You want to deal with this woman, deal with that woman, have multiple baby mamas. Now look at you in a nursing home. Don't nobody want to come visit you. Your kids don't want to have nothing to do with you because they remember how you did their mother. I'm trying to help y'all. I'm not saying that you got to just be a mute, but don't nobody really want to hear y'all yapping all the time. Go to work. Y'all want to be out here with multiple women creating broken homes. You want to treat women any kind of way until you really need them. And now because you done hurt these women, now you don't have nobody that's going to be there for you. I'm trying to help you out. Telling you to be, cool with just one woman. Be devoted to one woman that cares a lot about you. That way you may not even have to go in a nursing home. But most of y'all going to be in a nursing home. You're going to be in there. Nobody's going to come see you. You're going to be in there by yourself, eating your mixed fruit and Jell-O. Because none of your children are going to want to come see you because they remember how you did their mother. The women that you dealt with, they're going to be long gone and on to something else. See, women, we okay with being by ourselves. A lot of us are so sick and tired of y'all anyway. We cool with being single. It's you men that can't be by yourself. That's why you out here with multiple women. But understand, when you really need somebody by your side, because you've hurt and deceived so many different women, nobody's going to be there for you. I'm trying to help you, but you treat me like I'm the enemy. You got your panties all in a bunch trying to comfort me in the comments. Listen, I'm telling you, you running around in the streets with all these different women, it's going to come a time where you're going to need somebody and you're not going to have it. You're going to be in that nursing home with your Jell-O and your mixed fruit, thinking about all the women that you done stabbed in the back, that you done hurt, that you done lied to, that you done deceived, and you're going to live in regret. I'm trying to help you. Just get it together. That's all.
As a single mom of 4 kids, I will never again date a single father. Let's talk about it. So when I met my ex-husband 10 years ago, I had set a boundary with myself after dating someone for a year and it not working out that I would never again date a single father, and specifically somebody with daughters. I'm sure you can see where this is going. I broke that boundary and started to date a man who is still currently married but separated with twin 18-month-old daughters. At the time that we started dating, I had 2 of my own kids that were 8 and 6. They did not have an active father in their lives. So what I really wanted was to find somebody who would love my kids like their own, and I was naive enough to think that that was a possibility. 10 years into my current marriage that is now ending, I'm realizing I'm not sure it's even possible for a man to love stepchildren the way he loves his biological children. And I know that there are like anomalies out there where that, isn't true, but just based on my experience and the experiences I've heard from others, I would say more often than not, that is true. A little side note here, for the girls who are still legally married but separated, have no intentions of getting back with their current husbands, what are we calling them? Because I feel weird calling him my husband, although legally he still is. But I also feel weird calling him my ex-husband because we're not legally divorced yet. Suppose I could just call him my abuser, but there are certain circumstances where that would not be appropriate. When I first met my husband, our kids were also young, but I genuinely believe that we could just be a blended family and everybody could love each other the same, and my kids would see him as a father figure. And I think for a while they did, but as they got older and being teenagers, had mental health issues, it became more difficult. Things became more and more separate to the point where he was no longer claiming them, and everybody felt the tension in the house. And my older 2 kids could feel the difference. They would call it this is like my first family, me and my older 2 kids, and then there's the second family with me, my current husband, his 2 kids, and our 2 kids. And they often felt very excluded from things. They did not feel like he cared about them. And if I'd listened to myself 10 years ago when I set that boundary to never date a single father again, we would not be here. They would not be having those feelings, and I would not be having such intense mom guilt for putting them in a situation where they did not feel wanted. So for the past 10 years, my husband has been, telling me that as a single mom, especially now that we had 2 kids, so I had 4 kids, that nobody would ever want me, nobody would put up with me, and that I was lucky to have him. And last year when he began having an affair, I did not find out about it until later, and that's a story for another day, but in order to try and hide his affair, he essentially tricked me into an open marriage, saying that because in a lot of ways our personalities did not mesh, we would be better off prioritizing our family on that side, but finding someone who could fulfill things in us that we were not finding in each other.
Dating or marrying a single father that already have children with multiple women, it's not a big deal, you know. It's not a bad thing. But before you decide to go with a man like this, ask him questions. What happened? Why did he have children with multiple women? Ask him this question. It's very important. You know, things can happen. You never know. Things can happen, you know. Something can lead someone to end up this way. But if he doesn't give you a reasonable response, that is a problem. And if you still decide to go with him, good luck. Because some men like this, it's a habit for them. They don't know when to say enough. They don't know when to stop. They do not have self-control. They continue until they will now have multiple women with children for them. And there is possibilities that you could be the next baby mama. I hope you get that.
That's it for today, guys. Red flags. That is red flags of dating a man with multiple baby mamas. That is a red flag. As a woman, it is a red flag. Dating a man with multiple baby mamas. First of all, you'll never know your peace of mind. Reason being, if this guy has got multiple baby mamas, these baby mamas will be coming each and every time, even if it's end of the month, asking for financial support for their kids. You never even know. Maybe they could even be banging out. Because the moment they meet these baby mamas and this guy, they still have that bond. It's still strong in them. No matter how much he comes and convince you that they parted or they separated, they are different ways, it's a lie. And then another thing is that the moment you just hear a guy has got multiple baby mamas, girl, you are in your early 20s, your early 30s, your early 40s, don't even dare move or go into that relationship. And first of all, to make it the matter worse, if you don't have any kids of your own, and you're going into that relationship with this man who has got multiple baby mamas. Because in case of anything, first of all, this guy is going to be seeing you as a threat. His family is going to be seeing you as a threat. Because, for instance, if you've moved in with this guy, he's got kids in that house, he's got also multiple baby mamas. In case of anything happening to some of these kids or these children, the first person to be questioned is you, because you are actually an outsider. This man treasures his kids so much. They are his priority. But you are going in as an outsider. You are a burden to him. You are seen as a threat in that union. So, ladies, before you move in with a man with multiple baby mamas, think twice. What are the advantages or disadvantages of moving in with a man with multiple baby mamas? So guys, let me know this in the comment section, and bye for now.